Have you ever felt completely drained after someone ignored you? One moment you're fine, full of energy, and the next, it's like your soul crashes. Picture this. You're in the middle of a conversation, waiting for a response, a glance, even a simple nod. But there's only silence, and that silence feels louder than words. You sit there, a knot tightening in your stomach, wondering what you did wrong. You replay the moment over and over in your mind. Or maybe it's that message you sent, the one that never gets a reply. You stare at your phone, waiting for a notification that never comes, and suddenly you feel invisible. But here's the truth. That feeling isn't random. It's your soul speaking. It's your unconscious mind sending you a message. And Carl Jung, the brilliant psychologist who mapped out the human psyche, gives us a way to understand exactly what's happening and how to turn those moments of rejection into power. The hidden universe within you. Jung discovered that inside each of us is a hidden universe where emotions, intuition, and our deepest truths live. It's not something you'll find in a book or an app. It's inside you, quietly waiting to be heard. When someone ignores you, when that emptiness creeps in, it's not just about them. It's a signal from your unconscious calling you inward. This part of your mind doesn't use words. It speaks through symbols, feelings, and sensations. That tightness in your chest, the lump in your throat, the sudden heaviness in your heart. That's your unconscious speaking. The shadow awakens. Jung taught us about the shadow, the hidden part of us that holds our fears, insecurities, and wounds. When someone ignores you, your shadow wakes up. It whispers things like, "You're not good enough. They'll always leave you." But here's the twist. Those voices aren't the truth. They're invitations. Invitations to look deeper, to face the parts of yourself you've been avoiding. More we repress the shadow, the stronger it gets. It seeps into our habits, our relationships, even our self-talk. That's why you feel drained after chasing someone's attention. It's your shadow pulling you away from yourself. A moment to pause. Think about the last time someone ignored you. What did you feel? Sadness? Anger? That strange mix of emotions you couldn't even name? Jung says, these aren't punishments. They're clues. They're signs your energy is leaking into places it doesn't belong. And once you see that, you can reclaim it. Here's your first tool. Next time you feel ignored, don't rush to chase or explain yourself. Pause. Breathe. Ask, what part of me is reacting right now? What am I hoping to receive from this person that I'm not giving myself? The dark path of growth. Jung often spoke of life as two roads. One is bright, crowded, and safe. The other is darker, quieter, and intimidating. When someone ignores you, it feels like being shoved onto that second path. But here's the secret. That's where transformation happens. Maria, a single mom, spent months begging her ex to communicate. One day she stopped. She chose the dark path. She focused on her peace, and suddenly, her energy returned. Her ex eventually came around, but by then she didn't need his validation. Boundaries are self-respect. You can't control how others treat you, but you can control how you respond. Jung's process of individuation, becoming your most authentic self, starts here. When someone ignores you, set boundaries. Decide how much energy you're willing to give. Not out of anger, but out of self-respect. Sophia learned this with a friend who always canceled last minute. Instead of begging for attention, she asked herself, how am I ignoring myself by tolerating this? That question changed everything. Projection and reflection. Jung taught that we project onto others what we can't face in ourselves. If someone's silence devastates you, ask, where am I silencing myself? It's not always about them. Often, it's a mirror. The people who ignore us show us where we've been ignoring ourselves, our needs, our passions, our self-worth. Protecting your energy. Imagine your energy like water in a glass. Every unanswered text, every dismissal, every ignored moment drains it. Protecting it means pruning your life like a garden, removing what steals your sunlight so what's good can grow. The power of letting go. Letting go isn't defeat, it's power. Alejandra's partner ignored her nightly. She begged, argued, pleaded until one day she stopped. She poured into herself, her hobbies, her friends, her dreams, and magically, he noticed. But by then, she no longer needed it. This is synchronicity. When you align with yourself, the universe aligns with you. Authenticity is magnetic. The moment you stop chasing, everything shifts. Carlos felt invisible in his own home. His kids barely acknowledged him. Instead of fighting for attention, he picked up painting, a passion he'd buried. His joy returned, and his kids naturally gravitated toward his energy. When you live authentically, you become magnetic. You stop begging for love, because you already carry it. Your energy is yours. Jung's greatest lesson. Your outer world mirrors your inner world. When you start honoring yourself, when you stop chasing those who ignore you, your entire reality transforms. Protecting your energy isn't about walls. It's about alignment. It's about saying, I no longer invest in what drains me. I pour into what feeds my soul. Final takeaway. Write this down. Don't search outside for what already lives inside. What can you release today? What small act of self-love can you give yourself this week? Your energy is sacred. Protect it, honor it, live it. Here's the truth. When you stop begging for attention and start giving yourself what you've been seeking from others, something incredible happens. The same people who once ignored you either fall away naturally, or they begin to see you differently. But here's the key, you no longer need their approval. Why? Because you've shifted from chasing validation outside of you to building it within you. Why ignoring your own needs hurts so much when someone ignores you? It's painful because it touches a deeper wound, the times you ignored yourself, passions you put aside, the dreams you postponed, the moments you silenced your own feelings just to keep the peace. Carl Jung believed that these moments of rejection are powerful mirrors. They don't come to break you, they come to wake you up, turning pain into power. Think about it. Every time you felt invisible, every unanswered message, every time someone dismissed you, those were crossroads. You had two choices. Keep chasing, or turn inward and reclaim yourself. It's not easy. But the second path is where real freedom lives. When you choose yourself, your energy begins to rise. You start noticing synchronicities, unexpected invitations, new friendships, opportunities that align with who you really are. Jung called this living in alignment with yourself, the deepest, truest version of you. Practical tools to protect your energy. Here are 3 steps you can start using today. 1. Pause before you react. Next time you feel ignored, resist the urge to send another message or demand attention. Instead, take a breath and ask, what am I truly craving right now? 2. Redirect your energy. Take the time you would have spent chasing someone else and invest it in yourself. Exercise. Learn something new. Start a passion project. 3. Create your energy filter. Write down 2 columns. People who lift you up. People who drain you. Spend more time with those in the first column. Protect yourself from those in the second, not with anger, but with boundaries. Your worth is not negotiable. Jung's work reminds us, your worth was never up for debate. If someone can't see it, that doesn't make it disappear. It simply means they aren't capable of recognizing it, and that's okay. Because their blindness has nothing to do with your brilliance. Living authentically changes everything. Here's what happens when you fully embrace this truth. People who value you will rise to meet you. Those who don't will fade naturally, without chaos or drama. Most importantly, you stop feeling drained, because you no longer give your power away. Authenticity is like gravity. It draws in everything meant for you. A simple experiment. Try this for 1 week. Pick one person or situation where you feel ignored. Stop chasing. Stop explaining. Stop overgiving. Instead, focus that same energy on yourself. By the end of the week, notice how you feel. Lighter, clearer, more peaceful. That's you stepping back into your power. The final truth. Carl Jung said it best. Your vision will become clear only when you look into your own heart. Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakens. So stop searching outside for what already lives inside you. The love, the validation, the peace. It's been in you all along, quietly waiting. Protect it. Honor it. And watch how your world transforms. Sometimes what feels like rejection is really redirection. Think of Ethan, a 36-year-old writer. For years he submitted his work to publishers and never heard back. Every silence felt like proof that he wasn't good enough. One day, instead of waiting for approval, he decided to self-publish his stories online. Within months, his work gained traction. Readers loved it. That silence he once hated? It pushed him toward a path where he didn't just write for approval. He wrote for himself. Ethan realized something powerful. What I thought was rejection was actually life guiding me toward what was truly mine. Energy is like currency. Jung often said, what you resist persists. When you pour your energy into chasing people who ignore you, you create a cycle where you constantly feel empty. But the moment you redirect that energy toward growth, toward self-love, toward people who see you, everything shifts. Lavra, a 29-year-old nurse, spent years texting a friend who rarely replied. She'd stay up at night, staring at her phone, feeling invisible. One day, she asked herself, what would happen if I stopped? The answer? She slept better. She spent more time on her hobbies. And most importantly, she realized her real friends were the ones who reached out without her asking. Lara learned. Silence is not always a loss. Sometimes it's a filter. Your shadow isn't the enemy. Here's something Jung understood deeply. Your shadow, the part of you that feels unworthy or afraid, it isn't your enemy. It's a teacher. When someone ignores you and it hurts, your shadow is asking to be seen. Maya, for example, she was always terrified of being left out. So, when a friend stopped inviting her to gatherings, it crushed her. But instead of chasing that friendship, she journaled about the fear. She realized her shadow was rooted in childhood times. She felt forgotten at school or at home. By facing that wound, Maya healed. She stopped clinging to people who overlooked her. She began attracting friends who valued her presence, effortlessly. Your shadow isn't there to punish you. It's there to guide you back to yourself. Chaos. Before clarity, every transformation comes with chaos first. When you stop chasing those who ignore you, you might feel lonely at first. But that's not the end, it's the clearing before new growth. Jung compared it to a forest fire. It burns away what's dead so new life can thrive. Roberto, 42, walked away from a draining friend group that constantly excluded him. At first, his weekends felt empty. But soon, he met a hiking club, discovered his love for photography, and built new friendships that truly energized him. He said, I thought I lost everything, but I gained myself. And with that, I gained better people too. Synchronicity. The universe responds. Here's the beauty of Jung's philosophy. Once you protect your energy, synchronicity begins to show up, those perfectly timed events that feel like more than coincidence. Nigel, who left a band where he was ignored, bumped into a guitarist at a coffee shop the following week. That chance meeting turned into a new band, one that valued his ideas. When you let go of what drains you, life rushes to fill that space with what lifts you. A powerful closing visualization. Pause. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a quiet lake. In your hands, you hold everything that's been draining you: ignored messages, dismissive people, unmet expectations. Now, picture yourself letting it all go. One by one, you drop each weight into the water. Watch the ripples fade. Feel the lightness in your chest. You're free. And in that freedom, you realize something profound. You never needed their attention to be whole. You only needed your own. Daily rituals to protect your energy. Carl Jung's wisdom isn't just theory, it's practical. Here's how you can start living it every day. 1 morning grounding, 2 minutes. When you wake up, put your hand on your heart and say, "My energy is mine. Today I choose where it flows." 2. The 3-breath rule. Whenever you feel ignored or drained, pause. Take 3 deep breaths. Inhale self-worth. Exhale the need for validation. 3. The reflection check-in, nightly. Before bed, ask yourself, where did my energy go today? Did I give it to people who lift me, or to those who drain me? Write it down. Even 3 sentences will help you see patterns clearly. Affirmations to reclaim your power. Repeat these daily out loud, if possible. I am worthy whether they see it or not. I release what ignores me. I embrace what values me. My energy is sacred, and I protect it fiercely. I am not invisible. I see myself, and that's enough. These affirmations rewire your unconscious mind. Jung's exact approach for shifting internal patterns. The truth about relationships. Not everyone is meant to stay. Jung taught us that as we grow, some people will fall away naturally. This isn't punishment, it's pruning. Daniela, who was constantly overlooked by her younger sister, set clear boundaries. She stopped chasing family approval and instead started giving herself the love she craved. Within months, her entire relationship dynamic shifted, not because her sister changed, but because Daniela stopped handing over her power. When you protect your energy, you teach the world how to treat you. Your energy is your compass. Here's the core. Your energy will always tell you the truth before words do. If you feel drained after seeing someone, that's your compass saying, step back. If you feel light, inspired, and calm after an interaction, that's your compass saying, this is right. Jung believed your unconscious speaks through these signals. Listen to them, and life will guide you. A powerful final story. Let me leave you with this. Carlos, a 45-year-old father, felt invisible in his own home. His teenage kids barely spoke to him. He tried everything: jokes, gifts, even anger, but nothing worked. One day, he stopped fighting for their attention. Instead, he picked up painting, something he hadn't done in 20 years. He painted every evening, quietly, just for himself. Over time, something shifted. His children began wandering into the garage, curious. They asked questions. They painted beside him, not because he begged, not because he demanded, but because they were drawn to his authenticity. This is the secret. When you live in alignment, attention follows. But by then, you no longer need it. Daily rituals to protect your energy. Carl Jung's wisdom isn't just theory, it's practical. Here's how you can start living it every day. 1 morning grounding, 2 minutes. When you wake up, put your hand on your heart and say, my energy is mine. Today I choose where it flows. 2. The 3-breath rule. Whenever you feel ignored or drained, pause. Take 3 deep breaths. Inhale self-worth. Exhale the need for validation. 3. The reflection check-in, nightly. Before bed, ask yourself, where did my energy go today? Did I give it to people who lift me, or to those who drain me? Write it down. Even 3 sentences will help you see patterns clearly. Affirmations to reclaim your power. Repeat these daily out loud, if possible. I am worthy whether they see it or not. I release what ignores me. I embrace what values me. My energy is sacred, and I protect it fiercely. I am not invisible. I see myself, and that's enough. These affirmations rewire your unconscious mind. Jung's exact approach for shifting internal patterns. The truth about relationships. Not everyone is meant to stay. Jung taught us that as we grow, some people will fall away naturally. This isn't punishment, it's pruning. Daniela, who was constantly overlooked by her younger sister, set clear boundaries. She stopped chasing family approval and instead started giving herself the love she craved. Within months, her entire relationship dynamic shifted, not because her sister changed, but because Daniela stopped handing over her power. When you protect your energy, you teach the world how to treat you. Your energy is your compass. Here's the core. Your energy will always tell you the truth before words do. If you feel drained after seeing someone, that's your compass saying, step back. If you feel light, inspired, and calm after an interaction, that's your compass saying, this is right. Jung believed your unconscious speaks through these signals. Listen to them, and life will guide you. A powerful final story. Let me leave you with this. Carlos, a 45-year-old father, felt invisible in his own home. His teenage kids barely spoke to him. He tried everything: jokes, gifts, even anger, but nothing worked. One day, he stopped fighting for their attention. Instead, he picked up painting, something he hadn't done in 20 years. He painted every evening, quietly, just for himself. Over time, something shifted. His children began wandering into the garage, curious. They asked questions. They painted beside him, not because he begged, not because he demanded, but because they were drawn to his authenticity. This is the secret. When you live in alignment, attention follows. But by then, he no longer needed it.